Overcompensating Season 1 Review. I willingly went back to college for Benito Skinner's Prime Video comedy, and I'd do it again for Season 2 after years of playing Benny Drama, his online persona. Benito Skinner proves not only that he can make the switch to long-form comedy, but he can also excel in it. Overcompensating. Skinner's new TV show takes risks, but thrives thanks to an intimate understanding of its audience. The college-set sitcom is a genre that very few comedy series have yet to crack. On the heels of cancellations and failures of similarly young, pop-culture soap series, Overcompensating isn't premiering in a TV landscape ready to accept it. However, I, for one, had a blast watching the too few episodes of the debut season. Skinner is joined by a strong ensemble of comedians, internet personalities, and veteran actors, all of whom are more than willing to make fools of themselves in Overcompensating. His character, Benny, a fictionalized version of the comic, is a closeted high school golden boy trying to maintain his perfect persona, and stumbles upon Carmen, another freshman as lost and lonely as he is. Overcompensating could have made Behram the straight man to Skinner's Benny, but the series never boxes its characters into these archetypes, letting them all have the chance to shine. Overcompensating quickly wins you over, thanks to Skinner and Behram, who have an easy chemistry and are likable enough to keep us rooting for them, even when their actions tell us not to. It's a series that centers on friendship without sacrificing romance, and the many different types of relationships that come together to make a person who they are. Though Overcompensating intersperses some elements of magical realism to heighten our experience and tie it to Benny's intense emotions, it's remarkably grounded for a sitcom. Though it's sharply funny and relevant without instantly dating itself, Overcompensating doesn't have the widest target audience base. It appeals to viewers who already know about Skinner's internet presence and will be excited to hear the many Charlie XCX needle drops prominently placed throughout the show. However, this shouldn't deter audiences who are dipping their toes into this side of TV, as Overcompensating doesn't use its internet sensibilities as a crutch. It's a tool to make the world feel real, but the jokes are mined from the situations and characters, not just references. Carmen and Benny are more than simply flawed. They have myopic worldviews and are willing to behave selfishly to get what they want and maintain the status quo they've clawed their way toward achieving. This sounds like a dig, but it's what makes the series engaging. Benny and Carmen, like Grace and Peter, are never one thing, even when the world tries to make them fit into predetermined molds. Overcompensating plays with the idea that college markets itself as the place where you can be anyone you want, and that this promise is rarely delivered on. It's easy to talk about peaking in high school, but Overcompensating acknowledges that many see college as their golden years. The show excels at taking its throwaway moments and jokes, and using these to build the emotional nuances the story has in spades. It's a comedy first and foremost, but Skinner and the writing team don't use this as an excuse to let the characters suffer or lose the thread of the overarching story. Overcompensating is about learning to be comfortable in your own skin, and each character has a rocky path to get there. Though fun and fresh from beginning to end, Overcompensating isn't immune to some last-minute struggles. The second-to-last episode was a bit of a misstep. Despite its sweet story and important character moments, it effectively stalled out all the tension building to the season finale. The final episode was one of the most unfocused, dragging us back into the thick of things with a last-minute twist. Episode 5 is the strongest installment of the season, perfectly balancing the reality that often the best and worst night of college can be one and the same. This meant that the final 3 episodes of the season felt repetitive as Carmen and Benny rehashed recognizable conflicts and mistakes. However, I don't know if this pacing issue in the back half of the season is entirely the fault of Overcompensating's writers and structure. Largely, the pacing was strong, with each episode seamlessly flowing into the next, and keeping us on the edge of our seats for Benny and Carmen's next sticky situation. It's yet another TV show that has me wishing the season were longer, giving Skinner and the team more room to breathe and explore.